Hey guys, welcome back to Tamiya Legends, and once again, thank you for stopping by. So I've got another Wind It Back Wednesday for you, and today's episode is a very special one for me. I wasn't planning on these Wind It Back Wednesdays. I'm not planning to do every car I've ever done. I'm just doing the kind of special ones for me, and this one is very special. So before we get into it and we bring the camera over and we have a good look at this, I think we just need to, or I need to just to talk about how this actually came about, because there's a little sort of journey to get it to this stage. So about a year and a half ago, I got hold of an original Avante from 1988. It was obviously well used, but the chassis was in great condition. So I was mega happy to get that. The body set was trash and the wheels and tyres had gone. But I did a full strip down on it and I had the chassis absolutely mint at the end of that. And I didn't really have a plan for it. I knew I needed to get a body set and what have you, and wheels and tyres. But I just left that downstairs as like a future project. A couple of weeks after I'd just finished it, I was really lucky and I found a brand new built 2011 Avante over here on a local selling group. So I went out and I bought that instantly because, as I say, it was a brand new build and it was absolutely mint. So the plan always was on that car to transplant the 2011 body set and the wheels and tyres onto my original, and that was basically it finished. But before I did that, I wanted to get the 2011 out, get the radio gear in it and get it ripping. Quick blast on tarmac and get it sort of ripping around. The main aim for that was to get some cool action pictures, which I actually got. And you know that's kind of my thing. But it was really cool to actually get another Avante running, and especially on the gravel, flipping it up. So here's like a 25-second clip of it running.
Is she not a thing of beauty?
Just a thing of beauty. Everything I'm showing you today, all the builds and the clips I'm showing you, all the individual videos will be linked in this video description should you want to check those out. So I'd kind of made that running video, and then what I wanted to do, I wanted to get it to the Tamiya Legends Arena just to give it a blast around there. So I put the old shell back on and some old wheels and tyres, and I got a couple of cool action shots there. Here's a little 20-second clip of it running around the arena. So it was a bit of a handful on the day. It wasn't set up correctly. It's probably one of the worst cars I've taken to the arena, if I'm honest, which is a real shame because, as you know, the Avante is my favourite car, but it was bottoming out and it wasn't much fun on the day. But nevertheless, it was still cool to get there. So that was me finished with the 2011 running it. So I had the body set and the wheels on my 88 original downstairs, so that was completely finished. So what I was left with was a 2011 chassis. So my initial thoughts on that car after a while was I might as well turn it into a black special, not the full spec black special, just a lookalike. So I ordered the correct black wheels and tyres. I got a reproduction body set from TBG. What else I got? I bought a driver figure for it. And that was it. So when all that arrived, I put it all on the car. I'd taken the radio gear out by this time, and as you can see, this is what it looked like. So it genuinely looked like a proper black special, and I even got hold of the black special motor which I put in it, which was just a lovely. It just finished the car off, and then I was kind of done with it in that guise. And I can't actually remember what made me take it to the next level. I'm pretty certain it's probably because I got hold of some high cap shocks, and that was kind of the first stage into getting this. So I started to dream up what I would do. So obviously, as I said, I had the high cap shocks. I had to get Nick Walker, Mr. Carbon, to make me a front carbon shock tower to allow the front high caps to fit this chassis. And then I also decided to go for the Tamiya hop-up racing wing, which is just the egress wing, but that particular wing was a hop-up for the Avante back in the day. I'd not seen a black special done with the racing wing on it, so I thought we'll give that a try as well. That could look pretty cool. I also got hold of the, I can't remember, the Avante racing steering set for it, which we'll show you close up, which really does make that steering a lot better. And then I think that was and then what I did, I'd put all that on together, and then I was kind of going through the wheels because I didn't really know the pink or the black special wheels just didn't look right because the shocks had darkened this down a lot, and just out of fluke, these wheels and tyre set were on my Trick Hot Shot at the time, which I had, and that was just gathering dust downstairs. Now these are actually vintage C's alloy wheels, and obviously the tyres are the Super Shot set with the narrow fronts. So I just took them off one day and put them on the car, and that was it. I was like, oh my god, it's like an Avante Black Stealth Edition. And I've got to be honest, it's one of the best looking cars I've ever done. I just think it all goes together. Obviously we've got the black special Avante, but then with the darker high caps and the darker wheels, big wing, it's really transformed it. So what we'll do now is I'll bring a camera over and we'll have a good look at this car. So first of all, let's just have a quick look at the car close up. What do you think, guys? I know I'm very biased, but I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. I also think, or what I forgot to say is, I've put some internal spacers inside the shocks to keep it a little bit lower. It probably wants to be a tad lower on that back end, to be honest. It needs a little bit of forward rake, but yeah, that's better. What a thing that is! And then quickly from the back, doesn't look as good, does it? And of course, the customary side view, and it really does come into its own. You see how sleek it is, and obviously with the racing wing at the back, which looks quite a lot lower, and it's not angled in a kind of severe upward style. So yeah, again, and with it being lowered, you just get that really sleek look. Right, so obviously the top off now, and it allows you to see the full carbon chassis. Absolutely thing of beauty, isn't it? It's equally as good looking with the top off. So the first thing to note on the chassis is the proper Avante Black Special motor. I was so lucky to get hold of it. I was actually given that, which was just immense. So that's actually a standard Tamiya 25-turn GT tune motor. But obviously when they brought the 2011 Avante out, they gave a very similar motor, but the decal's different. But it alludes to the iconic Technical motor, and it was just a lovely touch. So I'm really happy to have that in the actual car. Next up is the rear high caps fitted. All that, they go on really straightforwardly. You don't have to do anything with that, apart from, as I say, with the size of a rear high caps I'd used, it was sat way too high. So I put internal spacers in there just to make it sit lower. Next up is the racing wing, which is just the egress wing, as I said earlier. A lot of people weren't a lover of this, if I'm honest. They preferred the original wing. But again, just with the overall look, I think this style wing only increases its looks. And then two things to show you in this one. The driver was painted pretty much box art from memory. It's nice and dark and just obviously goes with the car. And then on the front, you can see the carbon racing steering set, which is a must-have upgrade for your 2011 Avante if you've not done it. It's not overly dear. You get all the parts of carbon arm, you get the two plastic arms, I think you get the bearings as well. You get everything you need in the kit to do it, and it really does eradicate the slop tremendously. Very top add-on, to be honest. And then onto the front end and the front high caps, and that's the carbon shock tower that you need to allow the high caps to fit correctly. Because I don't know if you're aware, but the standard Avante gold shocks clip on, bolt on down here, or actually where that bolt is, and it would make the high caps way too long. So yeah, you use that, but it's awesome. The only downside is, well, in fact, we'll go into that on the next bit. But yeah, absolutely. It just looks. It's just an extra bit of carbon as well, isn't it? Just to sort of spice it up. And then finally, of course, these vintage C's alloy wheels. Probably one of the nicest vintage wheels I've ever seen, if I'm honest. And I'd never seen them before until I got them on my hot shot that I bought. You can buy similar, well, you can buy exactly the same style modern day alloy wheels off eBay, but they don't do them in black for some reason, and I don't know why that is. But it's a shame they don't, because I must admit, if anyone started doing them, I would definitely buy a couple of sets, because they are sexy. And then the only other thing of note to mention really is when you do the high cap front conversion with the carbon shock tower, what you were supposed to, because that was a proper hop up back in the day, what Tamiya said to you were, you basically where that silver line is against the black, that's where you would trim the actual shell around so that this black bit slips underneath the carbon shock tower. Now, I never wanted to do that, and I think it looks pretty naff when you cut it. So there is a little drawback for this, but in order for you to keep the shell as it is, when you're taking the shell off and on, you have to undo one shock, move it to the side, and then take one of the shock tower bolts out, loosen the other, that slides up, and then the body can slide in and out. That little bit of hassle, for me, is well worth it, as opposed to cutting round that and just spoiling the whole look of it. And then finally, the underneath view, which is just gorgeous. One of the pulls to the Avante in looks for me when it first came out. Obviously, when you see the shell, it's amazing, but the under tray is equally as beautiful with the lines it has. So I hope you agree, guys. This is one really trick-looking Avante. Again, in all the things I've done over the years, this is, I mean, hands down, my favourite Avante is the box art colour. That's not a thing. But to take one to the next level and not just do a black special copy, but to make it look like this, it has to be one of my favourite cars I've done, to be honest. So leave in the comments what you think, guys. I'd love to read if you think it's a yay or a nay. I do have the original, and I painted and decaled it, wing for it, just in case. But I personally just thought this does look slightly better, although it does look good with a standard wing as well. Anyway, I'll end this Wednesday wind back video here. So once again, thanks so much for watching. It's massively appreciated. If you are new to this channel, if you could please consider liking and subscribing to support us. And if you do that, smash that notification bell for our weekly videos. Look at that thing. So as always, happy arseeing.